Good morning students, welcome to online class. This is Sheila, your computer science teacher. In last class, we saw chapter 11, functions part 1. So what is a function? Function is nothing but a large program will be divided into a sub-program, and that such sub-program we call it as functions. Here there are two types of functions. One is built-in function, the other one is user-defined function. What is built-in function? That is already available in C++. Anything that is already available in C++ is called as built-in function. And what about user-defined function? It is actually created by the users. For any function you will have a pod braces. Yes, you will have a parenthesis. That is what actually represents that as a function. Yes, why do we go for functions? It is because when a program is going to be very large, it is going to be very complicated for us to use. So what do is we divide the program into small parts, and that sub problem actually, as we take a part of it, and when we do, what happens, the problem will be solved. That such concept is called as divide and conquer. Next, what do we have? We have reusability. Yes, of course, when a same code is going to be used for 100 times, there is no necessity for us to write the same code 100 times. We can write it one time and we can use it. We can use the copy of it. We can call a function just again and again by using the function concept. Yes, for that we use functions. And in previous class we started about using built-in functions. Yes, gets, puts and all. What is gets, puts? Gets is for getting the string, and puts is for putting the string. Yes, get string, put string. Getting the input, puts is for placing the output, giving the output, printing the output. Yes, the same way for get char, put char, it is going to get only one alphabet, whereas string means collection of alphabets. Character is one alphabet. Yes, get char, put char will get only one character, whereas gets and puts is going to get a collection of characters. Then we got into character functions. What is character functions? A C-type function header file will be included along with your IOStream header file, stdio.header file. We will include the C-type header file also. As we include this header file only, we will be capable of using this alnum. This alnum is whether it is going to be an alphabet or a number. Yes, we will check all that. We checked all that in the previous class itself. Is alpha is used to check whether it is an alphabet. Yes, returns 1 if it is going to be an alphabet, returns 0 if it is going to be a number. Is digit, what is it? It just checks whether it is going to be a numbers, right, or not. Given character is a number or not. It just returns 1 if the given character is a number. If not, it returns 0. All this we saw in our previous class. The next concept is going to be is lower. What is lower? Is lower checks whether the given alphabet is going to be a small case or not. Small case means what? Small case means small alphabets, small a, small b, small c. Yes, if it is going to be a small alphabets, what does it do is it just gives you a non-zero value. In case if it is not and lowercase values, then it returns 0. Yes, this is the general form for your is lower. This is how you have to give your code. How is lower is lower character C. Yes, is lower character C. So here you will give the alphabet and check whether it is going to be an uppercase or a lowercase. In case if it is lowercase, we return non-zero value, and if it is going to be an lowercase, non-zero value, uppercase, 0. Just listen to this code. Character CH is equal to N. Character CH is equal to N. Yes, we have given an alphabet called N. Actually, it is a lowercase. In case if it is a lowercase, it has to return non-zero value. Yes. In case if this is the statement that is actually given, what will happen? It will just give you 0 because the value that is being given is P, which is capital. Next comes upper. Is upper. What is this going to do? It is just going to check whether the given value is going to be an uppercase or not. Uppercase, it returns 1. Otherwise, it is going to return 0. Is upper, a character will be given. The same as lower. Yes, is upper A, small a. See, for this it will return 1, and for this is going to return 0. For which it is going to return 1? For this 1, and for this 0. 2 upper. This upper means checks. 2 upper means it is going to convert from the smaller parts to the from the smaller alphabets to the uppercase alphabets. 2 upper. There is plenty of difference between is upper and 2 upper. Is upper checks for the condition. 2 upper converting. Okay. So what happens is, when you give 2 upper of some alphabet, and if it is going to be a small letter, it will just get converted into an uppercase. In case if the given alphabet is itself a capital letters, what happens? It will return the same. It is not going to change. Clear? What about 2 lower? 2 lower is going to convert the uppercase to small letters. In case if the given letter is going to be small letters, it just leaves as it is. Yes? This is how it is going to be. In case if it is going to be a capital letter, it will be converted into a small letter. In case if it is the given letter is itself a small letter, no change is going to be there. Yes? Next comes string manipulation. String manipulation, there must be a header file name string.h. Yes? Before using any string function, there must be a string.h header file in your program. Unless otherwise you include a header file named string.h, you cannot use any string functions. strcpy is a function. Clear? Why do we use this? For copying a string. So how are we going to copy? The source string will be copied to the target string. This is how your general syntax is going to work. The source, whatever is being given in the source, will be copied to the target. Yes? And the null terminating character which is also given will also be attached to the string that is actually copied. Now let us see this with an example. So if I have to use strcpy, what header file should I include? String.h header file should be included. If not, this function is not going to work. So the execution will always start from main. Let us start from there itself. Yes? Is it clear? I believe it is clear now. Yes, your execution always starts from main. And your source character, I already told you, if something is going to be given in a square braces, it is termed as what? It is termed as array. Yes, array is nothing but what? Homogeneous collection of data item. We are giving several characters here, right? So these several characters has to be included in the same place. So we give it as an array, all the alphabets together. Again, for target of 20, it is going to take only 20 characters. And your target, this is a variable. Source is a variable, target is a variable, and they are going to be array variables. That is why we are going to represent that with a square braces. 20 represents, it is going to take values from 0 to 19, which is actually going to be 20. Right? And if I am going to give it empty, it can take as many values as it can. Clear? Now, string and source before copied. Anything that is being given in the double quotes will be printed as it is. Source in the string in the source code before copied will be printed with the colon. After that you have source. This is going to take the value that is being present in the source. What value it is going to print? Computer science. Next, this is also given in the double quotes. String, that is string in the target before copied, colon. After that, what is there in the target? Target. Even this will be printed. Clear? Next, what do we have? An important point. What is that important point? See, string copy of target source. So whatever is there in the source will be copied to target. Though there is a value called target, it will be vanished, and now a new value will be copied to your target variable. So what happens? String in the target, after copy function is executed, this line will be printed as it is, and for this target, what will be printed now? Computer science. Why so? Because this source is copied in the target. I believe you people are capable of understanding. Have a look at the output now. String before copied, it is computer science. string in target before copied it was target, and after copying the str copy function, what happens? This target is vanished and it is being target is vanished, yes, and it is being given as computer science now. Clear? Next comes strlen. What is strlen? Strlen takes a null terminated string as its argument and returns its length. Yes, the length does not include null character now. See, it just takes whatever the string that is being given and gives you the length of the string. Say for example, if I am going to give computer science, the number of characters will be counted along with the space and it will be giving it as a number. Now let us move on with the program now. Yes, so your execution always starts from main. Your execution always starts from main. And what do you have as a source now? Source is computer science. Source is computer science. Yes, so this is going to be a variable, and for this variable what happens? The value of computer science will be assigned. Anything that is being given in the double quotes will be printed as it is. So given string is computer science will be printed, and now its length is, even this is in double quotes, it will be printed. For this source, computer science will be printed. Here, given string is, it is being given in the double quotes, it will be printed as it is. For the source, computer science will be printed because it is not a double quotes, it just takes the value of it. Next, its length is, it is going to be in the double quotes, it is going to be printed as it is. And strlen of source, so it just checks for the length of this and prints it. Yes, count the length. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, sorry, let me repeat, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8, space is going to be 9, s is going to be 10, 11 12 13 14 15 16, inclusive of your space it is going to be 16. Clear? I told you already, right? It just adds up the space being given within the string. String compare. String compare is going to compare two arguments, string 1 and string 2, and as they compare they will give you the result. Say for example, string 1, string 2, as they compare, what happens is they will be compared with respect to their ASCII values, and if the first one is going to be greater than the second one, second string, you will get a positive value, and if the first value is going to be lesser than the second one, you will get a negative value, and if string 1 and string 2 are equal, you will get 0. Clear? Now let us move on with the code. So your execution always starts from main, and for your first string you have computer, for your second string you have science. Next what happens is you have declared three variables here. 2 is going to be characters, the last one is going to be an integer, because this is what is going to give you positive or negative value. Now string compare function is actually applied. First string and second string is going to be compared. If result is equal to 0, it means both are equal, right? What will be printed? String 1 and string 2 are equal will be printed. In case if it is lesser than 0, what happens? They are not equal, because you will get what? A negative value if they are not equal, right? I mean lesser means it is going to give you negative values. Yes, and if it is going to be greater, it is going to give you a positive value. Yes, that is all the program is. Clear? And what is string cat? strcat, it is used for appending. What is meant by appending? Two values. See, to the first end, the next statement can be added up. Yes, to the end of the statement. It is termed as what? Appending. Here we take two arguments, target and source. The function appends the copy of the character string pointed by the source to the end of the string pointed by the target. Yes, for this, what is the general form that is being given? strcat target comma source. Now let us move on with the program. Your function always starts from main. Your program execution will always start from main, and we have two characters here, variables here, target and source. Each is going to have how many characters? 0 to 49, 50 characters it can take. Learning C++ is a fun. This is going to be a target character, target string, Easy and very useful is going to be your your source string. Yes, easy and very useful is your source string, and target, learning C++ is the fun, is going to be your target string. Fine. Now what we are going to do is, we are just going to concatenate target and source. Yes, and we are going to print the target now. So what will happen? The source will be added up to the target, end of the target. See how it is actually printed. Learning C++ is a fun. Along with comma, it is added up in the next. Yes, to the end of the target, source is added. That is what is termed as what? Append. Yes, here we call it as str concatenation. Str cat is nothing but concatenation. Str upper, str upr, str upper, string upper. It is used to convert the given string into an upper case. What is upper case? Capital letters. Yes. So what happens now? Let us see the program with a program as an example. Now your execution always starts from main. Yes. Next what happens? You have a string str1 which can take 50 characters. Yes, and what we have given here, type any string in lowercase, it is going to be printed as it is. Now get string. Why do we use this get string now? Why do we use get string? To get the input from the user. It can get the string as an input. After you getting it, you can this is going to be printed. Convert the source string. This will be printed as it is. Then the given string, say for example, if I am going to get it as COMPUTER, it is all small letters, then into uppercase will be printed as it is. Yes, and here you have a function called strupr. What this will do now? Strupr, this computer will be converted into capital letters. COMPUTER. This is what is actually going to take place here. Yes, because str to upper will print. Here itself you are applying it, right? So it will be done and it will be printed as it is. Clear? See what they have done here. Type any string in lowercase, it is obtained and it is being converted into an uppercase. The same way for your str lower also. Anything that is being given in the uppercase will be converted into lower case. So to use a mathematical functions, yes, what you have to do is, you have to use a header file named math.h. What header file should you use? You have to use math.h. Yes. So now let us move on with each and every functions now. Yes, cos function. This cos function takes a single argument in radians. The cos function returns the value of a value in the range -1, 1. The returned value is either double, float or long double. See, your cos function is going to take arguments in radians. It is just going to return the values from -1 and 1. The returned value can be a double value or a float value or a long double. See, here we have taken it as double is equal to x, x is equal to x is a variable which is going to be a what data type? Double data type 0.5. Now it is another variable called result, which is also a double data type. Next, what do? We are just assigning a value for the result, which is cos of x. What is the value of x? 0.5. So cos x, cos 0.5, what is the value it is going to return as? It is going to return a double value, which is going to be a double of your float. Yes. Next, what about square root? Square root returns the square root of the given value. Yes, if a negative value is passed as an argument for the square root, it just returns you an domain error. Here is a program. Let us see. Double x is equal to 625 and result square root of x. What is square root of x? It is going to be 625. Square root, it is going to be 25. Yes, so it will be printed as it is. Square root of 625 is equal to result will be printed. What about sine function? Sine function takes the same way as your cos value. It returns the value as the same. It is going to take either double, float or long. Yes, it is just going to do the same function as your cos function. Next, power function. What is power? Exponents. Yes, returns base raised to the power of an exponent. If any argument passed to power is a long double, the return type is promoted to long double. You understand? If the value given is long double, the printed value will also be long double. If not, the return type is double. If it is not going to be long double, it just returns you a double value. What is double, long double and all? It is all a data type. And your power functions take how many arguments? 2 arguments. Yes, a base value and an exponent value. 2 power 3, all this. Yes. Now let us take base, exponent, result. Base is going to be 5, exponent value is going to be 4. Now what we are going to do? Power of base comma exponent. So listen, base comma exponent, it is going to be what? It is going to be 5 power 4. So what is the value? 5 into 5 into 5 into 5. Yes, 5 5s are 25, and finally you get what? 625. Yes. So power of base exponent, power of 5 comma 4, which is going to be what? 625 will be your result, because anything that is being done is actually stored in result. So as you give result, the value of this will be printed here. Yes, double x is equal to 25, and for this we are going to take sign value. Yes, what happens? Sign of 25, you will get the result. Yes children, today we saw is upper, is lower function, 2 upper, 2 lower function. Then we got into string. So to include a string file, we should use what? We should use what header file? We should use string.h header file. In that we saw string string concatenation, yes, string comparison and string copy. Yes, next we got into math. So for mathematical functions we must use what? Header file, math.h. In this we saw cos, sine, how to use power, yes, how to use square as well. Yes children, let us stop with this, practice the programs. We shall see the rest in our next class. Thank you.